Omar, how was the workout? Yeah. I was tired today. Yeah. I was struggling a bit. But I did it. What are you focusing on? I just started running again. I've just been doing upper body stuff. I like to work out more, but I don't know. So what are you presenting about? About what? You didn't pick it? Did you choose the topic? What's it like?
Biz finans arasında biz yaklaşık bir şey finans çıktalı dostum öyle çıkıyor
아직 안 왔어.
Where is everyone? Where is everyone? Yeah.
이거 했어? 너무 안 해. 이렇게 안 해.
How's it going, everyone? Where are all your friends? Everyone's late. Okay, if you submitted your quiz by 4:58 p.m., it is graded. If you submitted it between 4:58 and 5, you have not graded it. Any questions about the quiz?
Excuse me, can you please extend the deadline?
Why?
Because I forgot.
You forgot.
Yes, I didn't check the reminder.
Me too.
I'll decide later. What did you say? Yeah, the quiz about the card game. Did you submit it? It's great. Steve, welcome. All right, so today we have what? No speaker.
Yes.
Next week, we have a speaker.
Next week I have official excuse.
Official excuse. Well, lucky you. Okay, so today, no speaker. We were supposed to have one, but we don't have one. Why don't you like the speakers?
They're boring usually.
I'll find more interesting people next semester. Alright, so we're going to watch a short video. Last week we talked about non-verbal communication with our card game, right? Right, thank you, Salif. Someone's awake. Alright, we're going to continue to talk about some non-verbal communication. So, we have a short video, 2 activities, and then we can get out of here. So, if we can be efficient with our activities, then you should be able to catch the bus. Sound good? Okay, so, quick video. This video is about hand gestures in different parts of the world. So you can learn how to offend all of your friends from different places in the world. Okay? Alright. Steve, can you hit the lights?
Hello everyone. Body language can be a funny thing. Depending on where you are in the world, certain gestures can either mean you're making a new mate or landing yourself in hot water. In this video, we're going to look at the definition of hand gestures around the world. The okay. In most of the English-speaking world, as well as in several other countries, this hand gesture means that everything is fine, great, okay, or perfect. In Brazil, however, it is considered a rude gesture, equivalent to the one-finger salute. The most famous example of this was in the 1950s when Richard Nixon visited Brazil and flashed the OK sign to a waiting crowd upon arriving in Rio de Janeiro, who responded with boos. The horn. In USA, this gesture is adopted by rockers as a sign of approval and, in essence, to rock on. But in many Mediterranean and Latin countries, such as Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, Spain, Italy, and Portugal, to make this sign at someone is to tell them that their spouse is cheating on them. The fingers all together. In Italy, this gesture means, "What is this?" or "What do you want?" But in Democratic Republic of Congo, this gesture is a sign for a small amount of something. In Turkey, however, it indicates that something is beautiful or well. And in Egypt, it's a motion to show you'll only be a minute. The thumbs up. In most countries, this gesture is a sign of approval. In some other countries, however, such as Iran, Iraq, or Afghanistan, this gesture is seen as an up yours. The crossed fingers. In the UK, Australia, USA, and Canada, this gesture of crossing one's fingers is to wish for good luck. But it is a whole different meaning in Vietnam. This gesture is seen as lewd in Vietnam because crossed fingers are said to resemble female genitals. The V sign. In USA, this is a harmless backward sign for peace. In the UK, Australia, Ireland, and New Zealand, however, this sign is seen as rude and frequently used to signify contempt or defiance towards authority. The come here. In the English-speaking countries such as UK, Australia, USA, and Canada, this gesture is used to motion somebody to come over. But in the Philippines, this gesture is considered highly offensive when motioned to another person because this gesture is reserved for dogs. The point. In European countries like Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, and Austria, this is considered as a gesture for the number 2. In China, however, it is a gesture for the number 8. And Italy, this hand gesture is used to indicate that something is not good. The downwards palm wave. In the UK, Australia, USA, and Canada, this gesture indicates go away. And it is usually used to shoo somebody off. But in Philippines, Vietnam, India, and Ghana, this gesture indicates come here. because having an upwards palm is considered rude in these countries, hence the downwards palm approach. The chin flick. In France, Belgium, and Tunisia, the chin flick is used to express supreme disinterest, or to tell someone to get lost. And in Italy, it is used to express, I don't give a damn. The fist and elbow. In many Latin countries, such as Mexico and South Americans, this gesture is known as the tacano, and it means stingy, because it illustrates that the recipient rarely extends their arm to pay the bills. In Austria and Germany, however, this gesture indicates that the recipient is an idiot, and their brain is in their elbow. The forehand fist. In Brazil, this gesture is most effective with multiple grunts, and it is done to indicate stupidity. The thumb in a fist. In Australia, UK, and Canada, the thumb in a fist is a common playful gesture used by adults towards children, pretending to have stolen a child's nose. In Turkey, however, this is seen as aggressive and rude. The outward hand. In Greece, Africa, and Pakistan, this gesture is seen as insulting or confrontational, as this gesture evolved from the traditional practice of rubbing dirt, feces, or ashes into the faces of convicts. The awkward turtle. In the USA, this is used as a public acknowledgement that one's gaffe has caused social embarrassment. And in American Sign Language, this gesture means platypus.
Steve. Alright. Don't do that to your friends. I was kidding, silly. You'll offend them. Now you know what not to do when you travel, right? Alright. For those of you who are from countries that the video talked about, was this accurate? The ones in the US were accurate, but I don't know if other ones were not accurate. No? Okay. I'll find a better video. Sorry if those were inaccurate. So, you've probably all made mistakes while traveling or living here. For example, I lived in Turkey. My first semester, I was talking about students' homework. So I had 14-year-old boys at high school. And this is a common thing to do in the US when you're talking to someone. I don't know why, but people get bored and they do this. This is very offensive in some places. So I'm telling the students what their homework is, and they are on the floor laughing so hard. I was like, guys, come on, homework's not funny. And so one student came up after class and was like, teacher, bad, don't do that. So that's how you learn. So I learned not to do that. Okay. Anyone have stories like that? Anyone? No? Alright, just me. Okay, does everyone have a piece of paper? Does everyone have a piece of paper? Does everyone have a piece of paper? Ah, okay. Anyone else? We're going to try something. So, you all have an X or a circle. You all have either green, blue, orange, or pink. So there are 8 different rules, okay? We are going to take 5 minutes to socialize with each other. Informal, you can talk to anyone about anything, but you have to follow your rule, okay? You must talk to people with a different color or different shape. So if I'm a green X, I can talk to a blue X. I cannot talk to Yana. She is also a green X. And we have the same rule. Okay? So, what are we doing? Okay, so we all have one rule and what's that? Yes, so you can talk about anything, okay? Can you talk to people with the same shape and color as you? No. What can we talk about? Anything. Talk about hobbies. Talk about weekend plans. Talk about finals. If you're boring. No, I'm just kidding. You can talk about finals. We're stressed about finals. Talk about whatever you want, okay? Your goal is to figure out what other people's rules are, okay? So follow your rule, ask questions, talk to each other, try to think of what the other person's rule is, okay? If the person you are talking to breaks your rule, give them an X. Just show them an X, okay? Mark a big X on their face. No, just show them an X. Do the Korean X. I don't think this is offensive anyway. Is it? Okay. All right. So we have a rule. We have a shape. We're interacting. What can we talk about? Anything. Okay. You have 5 minutes. I want you to talk to at least 2 different people. Are there questions before we start? Any questions? Shael, any questions? Wendy? Good? Miriam? No questions. All right, 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes. Go.
Wait, can you tell me?
What are your weekend plans?
근데 뭐 진짜 나쁜 타이밍에 들어왔거든. 안 하는 것도 해. 뭐죠? 뭐 정말 나쁜 타이밍에 들어왔니까. 진짜 뭐.
내가 퀴즈를 못한 게 아니야. 안 한 게 아니야.
아,
때려줘.
미안.
얘 빨리 때려줘. 빨리.
선재야 미안해. 선재야 미안해. 내가 와야지.
몰라. 이게 이거 어쩌다가
선생님 놀라.
Oh, I read. Talking about my career. And it was like, oh, I don't know about your career. Yeah, that's how you
Azamat boş mesaj.
What you ask about your stuff?
Find someone new. Find someone new.
Let's talk. You're waiting.
Everyone has
Okay, let's talk.
It's a part of it.
How's life?
How's life? What is your rule?
What is your role?
You go with the 50
I come back. But this, you can.
Okay, you have 2 minutes. Here, find someone new.
That is great. In the morning, early like the week
Nothing, it's just a nervous
That's what to survive through
Last minute, last minute.
You want back?
It's so hard, it's so hard.
I always think like this.
All right, have a seat. Find my leader.
I read
Let's get in small groups, 3, 4, 5 people. You get in small groups of 3, 4, or 5 people. This is a group. You got your group?
Hey, John.
Jonathan, are you in this group? You two? Steve? Wendy, are you a group?
Yes.
All right, these 3. Do we have a group? Go in the back.
Join us.
Are you two a group? Jackie, is this your group? Yeah. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, so hopefully that was an awkward activity. I wanted it to be a little strange and awkward. Okay? Alright. So, in your group, please discuss these 4 questions. Did you figure out what other students' rules were? Their nonverbal rules. Yes or no? What was the biggest challenge? How did you feel? What are some nonverbal behaviors you have learned since coming here? Alright? Those 4 questions, just take 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about it together. Alright? Questions? Okay, great.
No one here couldn't figure out
No, keep going. You're doing great.
You said you talk to each other.
It's just
You're just asking us, so what's the root?
So what was your rule?
Talking head.
You mean what?
Learn their rules.
My rule is
You respected your rules?
actually, it's like the same age as you, right? Like girl and boy. But that's
Really?
that's my rule.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's nothing.
Harrison,
Yes.
how did it go?
Who did you talk to?
Everyone.
You talked to everyone. That's
Yeah.
peaceful. Did you figure out other people's rules? What? You two talked, right? What was her rule? Playing too close. Okay, so she was backing up? Yeah.
Punch him out.
You tried to get close, she backed up? Okay. Did you figure out his rules?
You were like, not
No eye contact. No.
that's like
Eye
looking.
contact.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, keep going. What about you? What was your rule?
Nodding.
Alright. Was it awkward? Is it strange?
It takes a lot of time, like it takes a little bit of time to make you figure it out.
Yeah. Does it mean I have to keep eye contact the whole time? Not creepy eye contact. Not that's
That's what
a normal amount. How did it go?
But like at the moment, my hotel was like 1 hour and a half far away from home, so I need to get like my. It's like it's the other side, so like you have to go to the half town just to get it. Like it's really far.
Why did you stay there?
Ah,
yeah.
so I just went and like after 3 days after. You know, at that night, when I get my companion, and then she keep the bandage, she keep it like 3 days. And then she showed me a bunch of videos. Her idol, like ripping up her shirt, and then it's so like I can see his body.
Whole body?
I mean, all the upwards. Eye contact? Yeah, the rest I don't know. But see, was it?
It's a group?
No, it's a group, a boy group. I don't know. Like the name is I don't know that. It's not popular. It's not famous. My group is not famous.
Okay, so a little bit strange of an activity. Did anyone figure out another person's rule? No one did. Salim, you figured out Angelica's rule. Oh, who?
Me.
Ah, what was your rule? All right, great. So we had 8 different rules. I think we had eye contact, physical space. So some cultures talk very closely. Other cultures are farther away. It's great when these two cultures interact because one person is going like this, the other person is going like this. Okay? What else? What were other ones? Other rules we had?
Smiling every time.
Smiling, right? Smiling can be appreciated or sort of like, why are you smiling at me? Yeah. Like in the US, it's normal to, for example, if I'm going for a run, I'll smile and wave at other people who are running. If I do that in some other countries, they're like, don't look at me. Right? Okay. So, it's important to be aware of some of these nonverbal differences, right? Right. All right. Did anyone feel really awkward and uncomfortable? Great. You're all social people. Wonderful. Have you learned any since coming to Korea? Like what? Yes. What else? Nothing? That's it? Alright. Anyone else?
You know, what this gesture means how are you?
That means how are you?
Yeah.
Alright.
And we have this.
Alright.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah, that's
Alright. Great.
how are you doing?
Any questions
And
about
we have this also.
Yeah. I get it. Okay. Any questions? Alright, let's do one more activity, then we can get out of here. Unlike this one, it is another communication activity, but we can talk to each other. How you normally talk to each other. Okay? So, I need 4 groups. So let's do, you merge with that group, that's one group. This is one group, you 2 groups, you're now one group. We join you 2 with them, and you 4 go to the 3 different groups.
That's it.
We'll do 3 groups. All right.
The last one.
So you need some space.
Who's the alpha?
Yes. We just 8's fine. What did he say? We have 9. 9 is fine. Okay. Unless you want to do it separately. Unless you want to divide groups. It's easier with more people. I promise you. So you're one big group. What is the task? Thank you for asking. What are we doing? Okay, so you will have